Hey YouTube family, it's your girl Kim, the Princess of Transparency, coming to you today off the topic of Mission Rio Bravo done. So yes, I am on the other side of tubal reversal, thank God. So I'm going to try to make this short as possible. I've been getting a lot of questions as far as my experience and just overall how um, everything went for me at Rio Bravo. So I was worth the investment, so I invested in myself in getting this done. So I got like 7 quick questions that I had that I've been asked during my process. So I'll try to answer them as best as possible. Why did I get the tube reversal? If you watched my previous video, Operation Rio Bravo, you would see that I went through post-tubal ligation syndrome after I had my tubal done in 2014 with my youngest daughter. I went through heavy periods, um, depression, serious headaches. It just became horrible. Overall, my health has really started declining, and I didn't understand until after I started doing some research to connect the dots between the effects of tubal ligation and my hormones, just everything I was going through, and seeing what was wrong. That's when I just started researching tubal reversal. So this was not something that I did overnight as far as the thought or the commitment to do it. This was a year-long process. So you really want to make sure that you find a doctor that works for you. So that's what I did. I was worth the investment. Every dollar and every dime that I spent into it, I am happy with. So why did I choose Rio Bravo? That was the main thing because of the investment cost of it. Overall, I knew that I couldn't afford stateside surgery, and unfortunately, insurance doesn't cover it, which I wish they would. But excuse me, when you're trying to live a life with 4 kids and at the same time make sure that you can get the surgery necessary for you to survive, every month it was just feeling like I couldn't survive with anemia and just seriously having to wear adult diapers. It's not even something that you could feel like you're having a good quality of life on. So when I looked at Rio Bravo, the price point, which was I think 2,300 for the surgery, compared to other doctors who are charging I think a base price of somewhere between 5,000 and up, it kind of worked for me better. Even though the surgery will add up as far as when you add in gas, food, whatever, in lodging expenses, it does seem to add up. But in the end, I came on a lower point of other cost factors for other doctors. So, and I also researched their success rate, and I didn't see anything that alarmed me. I prayed on it, and I asked Holy Spirit to direct me and guide me to where it is that I need to be. And I don't regret 1 minute of going to Rio Bravo. So I'm thankful to the staff for every moment that I went through there. So the third question is, how was my overall experience? On a scale of 1 to 10, to be honest and transparent, I'll give it a 7. There were some communication issues in the very beginning of getting there. When you get your initial paperwork stating or confirm your times, for shuttle pickup and just dates, please make sure that you read with a fine tooth comb and fine glasses everything. Because for me, there was a snafu as far as what time I was going to be arriving in Texas to be picked up. So yeah, they were trying to charge me extra money saying that I missed my shuttle, but it was when I was telling her I went in, I left for Texas on the 29th. My surgery was on the 30th, and they thought that I was going to be picked up to spend the night in Rio Bravo. So yeah, either way, just make sure that when you communicate with them, make sure that you have clear confirmation on both sides on who's doing what and where you're going to be meeting, because you don't want to spend any extra expense if you don't have to. They gave me all the paperwork that I needed from the doctor as far as they did everything that they were supposed to do. They did an EKG on me. If you're going to have an IME exam and you have to have an EKG, just know that they have outdated machinery, and you will have like hickeys on your chest, little circular dots. So just be prepared for that. They go away in a couple days, but it's not comfortable. I was in room number two. So overall, the environment there, yeah, it's a little outdated, but I wasn't going there for the glitz and glamour of the location. If you're going there, you're going for the wrong purpose. I went to go get myself back to being healthy and having the possibility of just feeling like letting my body do what a woman's body is supposed to naturally do instead of doing what I wanted it to do on my own. The doctors there, they spoke perfect English. There was no kind of real barrier there with them. With the nurses, there was a slight communication barrier. I had to pay for a private nurse who is actually the doctor's aunt, and she does not speak English. So it was kind of me trying to gesture to say what it is that I wanted and what I needed. But she's sweet, so everybody was kind and professional. I never once felt like I was worried about my safety. Overall, that wasn't anything that I was worried about. The only concern that I did have was that when the nurse was putting my IV in initially, she wasn't wearing gloves, and as a healthcare professional, it was kind of like I cringed, but I also had to remind myself that the technology is kind of outdated and some of the thought processes are kind of outdated. But yeah, I just thank God that there was no real repercussions from that. But overall, everything else was clean. I mean, even if you go stateside here, if you walk into any hospitals, it's not going to be 100% pristine. You can smell it when you walk in. You smell the disinfectant, so it's a clean environment. Nothing's going to be 100% perfect, but yeah, I was just glad that it was over and done. So I walked away with 7 8 centimeters on both tubes once I took the bands off. Which even there, these are the bands that I got off of, or the doctors got. I don't know if you can see them. If you went stateside, I wouldn't even got those because that would be considered biohazard. So, and tell me what hospital here in the United States that you can take photos and videos during surgery. So that was the thing that kind of made me feel comfortable for the fact that here you can't even record your baby being born. Whereas there in the state, there in Mexico, you can record and video and talk to the doctors while you're having surgery if you're awake. So that's what made me feel comfortable during the whole process. See the next question. What was the total cost for my surgery? Remember, when you're going into this is an investment. This is kind of like buying a car or even a down payment on a house for some people. So you're going to spend a couple grand. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Overall, my complete total was $3,917. So I'll break that down for you. My plane tickets round trip from BWI to McAllen, Texas were $277. And I did pay an additional $18 for insurance, which I highly, highly recommend because I'm on a Facebook group for Rio Bravo. I'm hearing a lot of women saying that they're losing their money or their investment for their tickets because things are coming up, family tragedies, illness, whatever. You want to make sure that, I mean, for me, $200 was nothing for me to just throw away. So at least with the insurance, it kind of protects your investment. So yeah, consider that when you're booking your dates. The down payment for the surgery is $650, which you pay through PayPal. And there's also a $35 PayPal fee that you have to pay in the very end, which I was not aware of. Maybe I didn't read the fine print on that, but yeah, there's an additional $35 that you have to pay towards the end for doing the initial deposit fee. So the overall surgery itself, with everything, I'm going to break it down, was $2,865. That included the $350 for the IME exam. Because I have autoimmune disease, I have lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, and I also have cardiac issues. They did an EKG on me, so that's where the outdated machinery came from. But yeah, $350 for the IME. If you have any weight issues, anemia, things like that, that's kind of where the IME exam will come in at. The balance for me for my surgery was $2,200. I also paid an additional $180 for the private nurse, $100 for the extra sedation. They do give you some sedation when you're getting your epidural, but because of my nerves and because I just really didn't want to I didn't want to wake up and feel like, okay, my anxiety was going to be extra, extra. So that's why I went ahead and paid the $100 extra for the sedation. And to be honest, I woke up in the middle of surgery, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Um, then you pay $135 for your shuttle from McAllen, Texas to Rio Bravo. If you're going from the other airport, I think it's an additional fee. I think it's $200. But yeah, for me, it was from McAllen, Texas to Rio Bravo, it's $135. Um, I paid for one room the night before at the Clarion. That was $51. I do not recommend the Clarion. It was dirty as I don't know what. And they were missing the smoke detector in the ceiling. So, yeah, I don't recommend them. On the way back from post surgery, I went to the Comfort Suites and stayed. And that was $74. And that's how I get the grand total of $3,917. So, it's an investment. How did I pay for mine? I did a little extra work and set aside for it, but I also used a bulk of my money for my taxes. So, yeah, that's the reason why it's kind of hard. Once everybody's getting their tax money at one time, everybody's kind of jumping down there, to get it done. Which I mean, I understand, but yeah, you really want to make sure that this is an investment that you can live with. That I wanted to make sure that I could still feed my kids after the surgery. You also want to consider the fact that you're going to be down for some women it's like 3 to 6 weeks, depending on what you do professionally. So you really want to make sure that it's affordable for you, and that's why Rio Bravo was more affordable than me going to the other doctors that I looked at stateside. Um, So, is there anything I would do differently post surgery or now that I've had the surgery? Yes. One, I would pack lighter. I think I packed everything I could in my suitcase. You got to consider that if you're going by yourself, you definitely want to make sure that your suitcase or your book bag is extra light. That you don't have to do a whole bunch of lifting and bending. Because I packed too heavy. And I packed more snacks than I really should have because you're not really going to be too hungry because all you're really going to want to do is rest post surgery. Also, the other thing that I would make sure that I would do is make sure that when you come back home, that your support team is extra tight. I made the crucial mistake of not communicating my needs beforehand, of making sure my kids were getting back and forth to school, that this day and that day, that everybody was available, they needed to be available when they needed to be available. And that required for me to kind of break some of the things that they tell you not to do in your paperwork, which they give you explicit instructions telling you what you can and cannot do, that you're not supposed to clean and mop and drive for 15 days. So, yeah, for some women, it doesn't really sound realistic, I'll be honest, but in the end, it really makes sense. Um, and also, I would definitely, definitely, definitely recommend if you can, if you're scheduling your surgery for like months out, try to get your body in tone and shape. You don't really realize that your core muscles, you have to do everything from your core muscles, and you have to really depend on your arms and your legs to get you up out the bed and in the bed post surgery. And it was it was a time just trying to get in and out that bed. So if you can really work on your arm muscles and your leg muscles, and even just trying to go to the bathroom to squat, there were a few times that I just felt like I was going to go down. So you really want to make sure that you physically get yourself in shape as best as you can. Um, what else? I think that was really it as far as what I would do differently. So, what now? Now that I've had the surgery, I am a month out of surgery. They tell you that if you're trying to conceive, that you need to wait 8 weeks, that you can have intercourse with a condom after 2 weeks, um, and just taking it easy as possible. So, at this point, like I said in my other video, this is not a trying to conceive video for me or a vlog. There are so many wonderful, beautiful women that are documenting their trying to conceive journey. Um, you have the Evans Familia. I hope I'm saying it right. I'm sorry. Um, then you have Rakosha Alexander. She's such a sweetheart. Oh my gosh, there's so many women that are documenting their journey on YouTube that I would definitely recommend, but I'm just not that one to follow. I'm sorry. But I am taking precautions, so to speak, that if it does happen, at least my body will kind of be in tune because I'm not taking any source of birth control. I just don't want to. I don't want to limit my body from its healing process of going back to being as natural as possible. Thankfully, the glow that you see in my skin, this is actually my skin has started glowing, and I have a really my skin's become extra oily, and I'm actually getting acne. Just getting my hormones to balance out. So I don't want to do anything that is going to alter my body. And me and my husband, we haven't been using condoms, so it's just like not it's not our thing. So anyway, I've heard that taking serapeptate post surgery helps with scar tissue development, or not for it to not develop in your tubes. So when you're taking the serapeptate, please be careful because when you first start taking it, start at a lower dose. I'm starting off at 4,000 SPUs, and I'm working my way up to the 120,000 because it really will mess your stomach up if you try to take too much on at one time. I'm also taking liquid iron. Liquid iron. They say liquid vitamins are better for your system, that they absorb more naturally into your system and compared to taking just the vitamin pills. So I'm also taking pink stork just in case. I mean, not that I'm trying, trust me, but if it happens, I'd rather be prepared than not prepared. And I'm also taking wild yam extract. All these things I've gotten off of YouTube. The wild yam extract helps with PMS and women's health, reproductive health. So it's a nasty taste to it. Trust me. All these vitamins are not. Yeah, you definitely want to have your orange juice to chug behind that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel more balanced. I feel like I have a clear thought process because trust me, if I was trying to make this video previously, it probably would have been a half an hour video. But yeah, I feel a whole lot better. Would I recommend Rio Bravo? Yeah, I would. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't really think that there was anything that would deter me from doing it, or for me to deter anybody else from doing it. Again, do your research. Know what it is that you want and what your overall outlook or what you want to take away from the surgery. I mean, the end mission is to feel like a woman and for some to have another child. But just know there's no guarantee in it. But for me, I feel completely whole again. I feel like I'm where God has led me to. That God led me to Rio Bravo. Like I said, it was a year-long process of getting to Rio, and I'm thankful for it. It's made me stronger. I've made some great friendships, and I've met some beautiful women during the process. So, with all that being said, I wish everyone who is on this tubal reversal much joy, many blessings, and much baby dust. So, if you have you have a pulse, you have a purpose. So, any questions that you have, please link them in the comment section below. Again, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll meet you on the next part of the journey.